is our first episode. It's the UFC 246 Mcregor versus Cerrone. Guess I'm just going to call it the pre-fight kind of discussion. So, a few talking points. First of all, so I don't really understand why no one's talking about this fight being at 170. I don't see it spoken about that much. There's the odd Chael Sonnen video. There's Luke Thomas, a few other guys, but mostly no one's talking about this being at 170, and I feel like it's probably the most important factor going into this fight. You think of a lot of Cerrone's greatest performances, they're at 170. Like, there's also a lot at 155, yes, but in recent years, aside from the Iaquinta fight, a lot of them have been at 170. Mcregor, on the other hand, I don't think has been at his best at 170. I know he beat Nate Diaz. He also lost to Nate Diaz at 170, albeit short notice, but short notice for both men. Yeah. The only difference is, I guess, he's had a bit of time to work up to this weight class, and he definitely Mcregor does look physically better. But yeah, I still don't know if it's the ideal weight class. I think the outcome of this fight, at least my perceived outcome of the fight, definitely changed when they announced 170. I feel like at 155, I would have gone a much clearer a win for Mcregor. And I can't say the same thing now. But definitely, I think the wrestling, grappling advantage in general will be with Cowboy. I think he's been able to, he was able to take down, pretty sure he took down Rick Story, took down Patrick Cote, like a really, pretty big 170 guys. Had a great fight against Matt Brown. Was able to withstand the power of Robbie Lawler at 170. So he's got a lot of advantages at 170. The only thing is he a little bit shot-born? Has he been through a few too many wars, a few too many fights? He does have the most wins. He has the most fights as well. So that's definitely got to play into it. And he is coming off a stoppage loss to Justin Gaethje, but Justin Gaethje has shown a lot of power in his last couple of fights, so it might not so much be a case of he's shot-born as Gaethje has just kind of realised his potential in terms of power. Still a tough one to pick. There's kind of has that aura about him. He looks extremely confident, looks in good shape. His style is slightly more conventional right now, judging by the videos, unless they're kind of a misdirection. But they definitely, he does seem more conventional, and I find Cowboy does really well against like conventional style fighters. So I think the way Robin Black would explain Conor McGregor's old style, the flim flam, his 145 style, that probably would be more well suited to this fight. But we haven't really seen that out of Conor really since the first Diaz fight, and that there was a distinct style change. I think he realised he couldn't manage his energy in the same way at 155 and at 170. Moving the way he did at 145. So we've definitely seen a more boxing-heavy, linear, flat-footed kind of attack from Conor. And I think that could potentially play into Cowboy's hands. Like the Iaquinta fight, he was very conventional, straight up and down, even going all the way back to Barbosa. While as a kickboxer, it was a conventional style of kickboxing. Still, there's a feeling I get that McGregor's maybe caught him at the right time, but the 170 factor should make this interesting. I feel like at 155, this probably wasn't the most interesting fight. At 170, it's become an interesting fight. It's definitely become a tougher challenge for Conor, and maybe an ill-advised challenge. If I was his team, I probably would have talked him out of the 170 fight. But in saying that, he can still win it. I guess my pick would be that he'll probably win this fight. I'm going to go McGregor for this fight. Despite the things I said, there is the McGregor factor where he just seems to kind of go against expectations. I expected him, even as a fan of his, I expected him to lose most fights he's won, probably ever since Chad Mendes onwards. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Conor McGregor. Again, the conventional wisdom, this isn't earth-shattering news, but Cowboy starts slow, McGregor starts fast. Most of McGregor's wins are in the early rounds. Cowboy really needs time to warm up again, like the Iaquinta fight. Really did his best work in the late rounds. So for that reason, I will go Mcregor in this one. But Cowboy's definitely still got a chance. He's got a really good chance. And the other fights on the card, we'll just have a quick run through of them. So Holly Holm, Raquel Pennington. Yeah, it's a somewhat interesting fight. It's good to see where they're both at in this fight. I actually thought this rematch should have probably happened a bit earlier. I thought Raquel won the first fight, but I know they wanted to build up Holly Holm. So she got the. It was a very close fight. I guess it could have gone either way, but yeah, I was edging it towards Raquel. But a lot's changed since then. So Raquel, a lot of what made her great was her willingness to brawl, technical brawl, but still a willingness to brawl. And she seems to have lost that in the last couple of fights. Her last fight she won, but I think it was pretty controversial. She had Nunes before that, Durandamy before that. Durandamy after that. She just hasn't seemed to have had the same energy going into those fights, the same mentality. So, and I think that was one of her best attributes that set her apart from the pack. It allowed her to get as far as what she did. Holly Holm's definitely improved since that first UFC performance. And there is like the UFC jitters we saw of Daniel Cormier against Frank Mir, and we have seen that before. So, and Holly Holm is coming off a loss, but again it was to Nunes, so you can't take much away from her for that. She wasn't stopped by Cyborg. She had a good performance against Megan Anderson. She showed a bit of diversity because usually the game plan for Holly Holm's is out there now. Like Cyborg showed that right hook is always going to be there against Holly Holm. It's an interesting fight. I think if this happened in closer proximity to the first fight, I would have gone Raquel, but I'm gonna go Holly Holm on this one. She seems she seems like a better version than what she was back then, and Raquel hasn't really progressed a whole lot. If anything, maybe she's regressed. The Anthony Pettis fight should be interesting. Modafferi versus Macy Barber. That should be okay. I like Roxanne Modafferi, and her fight against Antonina Shevchenko was good. She got to display her grappling and, surprisingly win that fight. But I think, Barber's aggression will probably be too much. She's been training with I think Ben Askren's one of her coaches now, so that'll definitely be a massive asset in the grappling department. He was also, of course, as her coach, he's going to say this, but he was projecting that she could maybe be champ this year, so I assume he's seeing good things. And the UFC's done a good job in a very boxing-like style of building her up, giving her the right opponents at the right time. And I feel like that's probably what they've done here. She might just be ready for this challenge. Still a veteran name, good name for her record, but I expect to probably TKO. Modafferi doesn't react too well to aggression, or extreme aggression in the way Macy Barber comes forward. So, I'm going to go Barber by TKO there. Yusuf versus Feely, I assume. Yusuf's the favourite, record of 10-1. Feely's kind of hard to pick, like who's going to turn up, but he can seem to coast sometimes, so I think that'll probably work against him in this one. Sleeper fight of the prelims, though. Tim Elliott and Askar Askarov. I think that's going to be a great fight. Tim Elliott just can't be in a bad fight. He's always had great fights. Go back and watch those fights he had in the Ultimate Fighter season with Benavidez and Cejudo as the coaches, and the winner got to fight DJ. Just his fight with DJ alone was great. I don't know why it's not talked about more. He gave DJ one of his toughest fights, rocked him early, escaped multiple submissions, constantly had DJ working. It was a really, really, really good fight. And it was great to see him have like a little resurgence there. So win or lose, Tim Elliott's always going to have a great fight. I know he had the fight with DJ. I think he lost to Ben Ewan by rear naked choke really, really quickly, which was surprising considering the performance he put on against DJ. I think he had close to 2 years off, ACL injury. Due to ACL injury. then came back, fought Figueiredo, who's now going to fight Benavidez for the vacant flyweight title. The title that Cejudo vacated. Looked a bit rusty. Didn't look completely outclassed though. Just got caught in a submission, but yeah, just looked a little bit rusty. I think. This will be good to see him come back against a tough opponent. Only problem is the only problem for him is that Askarov seems like he's from that Dagestani kind of wrestling culture. Really good on the ground. Had a great fight versus Brennan Moreno. I thought I'd have to watch it again, but I think he probably lost that fight and I went to a draw, but I think I had it for Moreno. But yeah, very good fight nonetheless. Very close. But yeah, great submissions. Most of his record is submission wins, sorry. So, yeah, I'm going to go... tough one. Probably go... I'm just going to go Askarov, even though, I'm a pretty big Tim Elliott fan, but I'm going to go Askarov just because Tim Elliott, aside from the DJ fight, has shown a susceptibility to submission. So I'll go with Askarov. But basically, they're my picks, yeah. So I'm going to go Conor McGregor early, Holly Holm, Macy Barber, Yusuf, and Askarov. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll talk post-fight. Thank you.